Hey guys, so in this video I'll be going over how you can drive an extra 15 to 20% of Amazon purchase orders for your Vendor Central account. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Benjamin Bolshinsky. I used to work at Amazon in the vendor management team for around 2.5 years, and now I run a company called Vendor Launch where we work with Amazon vendors to increase their purchase orders. And so, without further ado, the way you can do this is by simply building what's called an Amazon brand store. But not only just building an Amazon brand store, being intentional about the Amazon brand store that you create for your brand. Firstly, what is an Amazon brand store? I'll just go over kind of what it is. So firstly, you can kind of think of it as like a mini Shopify store. So it's a curated storefront that you've created for your brand on Amazon, which showcases your products, your brand, and helps drive more insights, information to customers, kind of like a catalog of your products. So it's totally customizable. You choose which products, how you set it up, images, media assets, lifestyle images, the sub pages. You totally customize how it looks on Amazon. Now, why do you want to build an Amazon brand store? So there's a couple reasons. Firstly, most importantly, it helps drive more purchase orders. Simple. So if you've done it properly, if you've created a proper brand store, you should really see 15 to 20% of your total Amazon sales come from customers that are buying your products through your storefront. So that's why it's super important for growing revenue. It obviously, as I mentioned, it's customizable. So you can use it to cross-sell into categories to drive traffic to new products. If you're launching new products or new categories, you can position it so that customers can easily discover your new products, seasonal products. Again, you have total control over the customer experience with your storefront and the products that you're trying to drive. It also helps an increase in average selling price. So for many of our clients, we find that customers that shop your products through your storefront actually typically purchase more products. They add more products to their cart. They are more inclined to trying some new products of yours or some accessory products, different flavors. So that's why it helps increase average selling price and the basket value as well. Another major benefit is it increases control that you have over your brand on Amazon. So a common issue, brands have is counterfeit sellers or unauthorized sellers or listings that are being created by hijackers or unauthorized vendors, sellers. So with a brand storefront, again, you as the brand owner have total control over which products you want to include, and so you can, you customize that experience and you have more control over that customer experience. And then lastly, a major benefit that's often overlooked is you spend less money on advertising, actually. And the reason this happens is because if you don't have, and I'll go through an example of this right now, actually, but if you don't have a storefront, competitors can actually advertise on your brand name. Whereas if you do have a storefront, you don't have to advertise on your storefront, right? There's no advertising needed. So you spend less money defending your brand name from competitors when you have a storefront. And I'll just go through some examples of what this looks like. So the first thing to note is if we have a product page here that you can see on the screen, this link under the product name called brand column Sav Glossy. So this is what's called the byline. So this is typically how customers access your storefront. Or if they don't have a storefront, as in this case, then this is what they would click to see the products under your brand. And so if we click on this brand Savglass URL link, it takes us to this results page. In this case, they do not have a storefront, a brand store created, and so you've got this random listing. You've got some competitor products, competitors can advertise here, and so this brand here is bleeding sales every day just because they don't have a storefront, which, by the way, is free to create. So this is kind of what it looks like without a brand store. Not great. Whereas if I go to, for example, this edamame product, the same byline, the same link, if I click it, it takes us to this storefront they've created. And so right off the bat, you can see there's no competitor listings, there's no point in advertising, and it's just a so much better customer experience, compared to this page here, night and day. And so if I just go through some examples of what I would consider decent brand stores. So again, this is one which probably a bit less kind of optimized. I would give this maybe like a C or a B plus. But again, miles ahead of not having a brand store at all. But you can see they've got a brand banner at the top, and then different products they're trying to try. They can probably add some more sub pages, a bit more intention behind what they're trying to drive. Subcategory pages, seasonal products. I'll go through some other examples in a second, but again, overall, a lot better than not having a storefront. This is probably something more of a basic, put together store. But that's this Sea Point Farms. Then if I look at Amazi, again, this is a bit better. So they've got this homepage where it links to each of their products. They've got a kind of bespoke created banner for each product range. Looks great, sizing's great, infographics. You want to have infographics that clearly point out the unique selling proposition of positioning of your products. In this case, they've got a new release. Again, customers immediately say, oh, here's a new product. Then they've got this a plantain chip. Again, it tells you, oh, it's plant-based. Other unique selling positions here, sustainable products. And then if I click on this link, it takes us to the product page. They can also link it to the sub pages, so that when I click on this, it will take me to a jackfruit URL here. But yeah, this is pretty good. They've got like some more info on the brand, which again helps build customer trust, loyalty. So a bit more information about the brand, impact statements, and then some of the subcategory pages they're trying to drive. They can probably add some more videos. In this case, I'm not sure what's going on with this page. They don't have anything, so they should add some products there. Variety packs. So this is a step above that Sea Point Farms one. But yeah, they can definitely add a bit more videos and a bit more customizable kind of banners as well. But all in all, a good step up. Then we've got Big Pens, or Big Stationery brand. This is even better. They've got a homepage, a lot of infographics showcasing the product ranges. Look, I'm a customer. I typically associate Bic with pens, and even now I've forgot that they do lighters, and I've gone onto their homepage and immediately they've positioned their lighters as a category they have. I completely forgot about this. Now I'm going to go and look for their lighters. So, and again, you can see it takes the customer to their lighters subcategory page. So yeah, lots of infographics. This is great. I would probably put this as an A plus. So seasonality, again, they've customized some infographics for the seasonal period. So yeah, this is great. Subcategory pages. So you can kind of think of the brand store as a kind of like a customer flow experience where you're taking the customer through a journey that starts on the homepage. You're positioning the different options that the customer can take, and then you're encouraging the customer to click on the one of the options, and then kind of continue taking them through the story of different pens and pencils and fine liners, and ultimately highlighters, for example, and then taking that customer to a product that they can then buy. So yeah, great job with Bic. This is kind of best in class. Cool. So yeah, those are some great examples. Other things to note, just as a side note, typically when you create a brand store, it's one store per brand. If you have multiple brands that you sell or distribute, you can create multiple brand stores and then link them to the respective product pages. A lot of super common mistake that I see with brands is after they've created the store, you then want to ensure that you've actually linked it to your product pages. It's not enough to just create the storefront. You actually then need to link it to the product pages, which that first example I showed you, this one here, Savglossy, they have not done this step. So even if they have created the storefront, we don't know, because it's not linked to the product pages. So make sure you link it to the product pages. Another quick tip is you can actually customize and shorten the URL, because when you create the storefront, it usually generates a super long, messy URL, like this one here. You can actually have it customized just by raising a support case so that it's Amazon.com store / your brand name, which just is a very small but thoughtful kind of thing you can do to just make it a bit more customer friendly. And then the last thing is make sure you update your storefront every time if you're launching new products, new seasonal ranges, seasonality, promotions. It's good to keep your storefront updated, for these kind of trends and these new features or products you're launching. But hopefully that helps. That's it for this video. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks for your time and have a great day. Bye.